So you want to own a luxury hotel, marble lobby, your name over the door, $800 a night, and people line up to pay it. The dream goes like this. Buy the building, hand out the key cards, 300 rooms, 800 a night. You're doing the math already. People pay you to sleep in your beds. The money arrives, literally, while you sleep. Sounds simple. It's not, because how luxury hotels actually make money and how they quietly die is the strangest business in real estate. Real numbers, real sources. This is marked up. Step 1. Before you earn a single dollar, you survive the buy-in. Building a luxury hotel in America now costs a median of $1,057,000 per room, and that's the median. The showpiece projects, the ones on postcards, run past $2 million a key. Why so much? Because a luxury hotel is a small city that never closes. Land in a location worth bragging about. Steel, marble, kitchens. For 300 rooms, you can clear $300 million before one guest walks in. That marble lobby alone is a small fortune. Imported stone, custom millwork, a chandelier with its own insurance policy. Nobody sleeps in the lobby, and yet it's the most important room you'll build. It is the business card. Then somewhere in month 3, somebody at the table says the word rooftop pool, and your budget quietly leaves the room. And the meter starts before the digging. Prime city land runs tens of millions, and the permits alone can take years. Years of your life spent arguing with zoning boards. From the first concept sketch to the first guest, a luxury build runs 3 to 5 years. Your $300 million doesn't just get spent, it sleeps, earning nothing the entire time. So most people don't build. They buy one that already exists. In 2024, the 950-room JW Marriott Desert Ridge sold for $865 million. That's about $910,000 per room. Secondhand, for the price of a very nice house, you get one room. But to be fair, the room comes with the pools, the ballrooms, the wine cellar, and a staff that remembers every returning guest's name. And the seller had just poured $100 million into upgrades. That's what move-in ready means at this level. And the all-time record? A New York icon that sold for nearly $2 billion. Hold that name. It comes back in step 5 with a much, much bigger number attached. At the boutique, and it gets wilder. A Malibu surf hotel traded at roughly $2 million a key last year. And unless you're a sovereign wealth fund, you're not paying cash. Most of that price is borrowed. Here's the usual recipe. You bring 30 or 40% in cash. The bank brings the rest. An interest rate that never takes a night off. Hospitality is a real estate business wearing a bathrobe. Remember the bank. It comes back in step 5. So that's the buy-in. Call it $300 million, mostly borrowed. Now let's go earn it back. Step 2. The doors are open. Where does the money actually come from? Because a hotel looks like one business. It's actually 5, stacked in a trench coat. Beds, food, drinks, events, and a spa. Start with the bed. Luxury is the only hotel segment in America that raises prices faster than inflation year after year. That $800 rate, in New York, the average hotel, all classes, charges about $334. Luxury goes multiples above the city. And once the guest is inside, the ladder starts. Early check-in, late checkout, champagne on arrival, a breakfast that costs more than some hotels. Luxury guests don't buy rooms. They buy yes. But here's the first ugly number. On an average night, a third of your beds earn nothing. 67% occupancy is normal at the top end. So owners obsess over one metric. RevPAR, revenue per available room. Empty rooms included. The top tiers average about $186. Why obsess over one number? Because high rates with empty floors means you starve elegantly, and full floors at low rates makes you a very busy motel. RevPAR is the number that keeps owners honest, because an empty suite still gets cleaned, cooled, and insured. Empty is expensive, and demand breathes. Fashion Week? You're turning away celebrities. The third week of January? Your revenue manager is discounting suites like it's a garage sale. Quietly, where the dollars land, rooms are roughly half the money. The rest is the restaurant, the bar, the ballroom, the spa. But food dollars are heavy dollars. The food and beverage department keeps about 29 cents of profit per dollar. A room dollar? The rooms department keeps around 70 cents. The money is in the beds, not the béarnaise. The quiet luxury cheat code is the ballroom. Weddings and conferences book years ahead at corporate prices and never complain about the minibar. And a wedding is the perfect guest. It rents the ballroom, then fills 40 rooms upstairs with people who drink champagne at hotel prices. Events pay twice. Then the extras, the spa, the cabana, the $75 breakfast. High-margin sprinkles. So, beds first, banquets second, bar third. So far, so good. Now the bad news. Every one of those dollars starts leaking the moment you earn it. Step 3. Meet the cost machine. Every occupied room costs about $48 a night in labor alone. And that number jumped almost 13% in a single year. A hotel is the only building you'll ever own where 3 shifts of strangers keep the lights on around the clock. 365 days a year. The machine never stops because the guests never stop. Because 5-star service is people. 2 to 3 employees per room is the standard. 300 rooms? That can mean up to 900 paychecks. Every 2 weeks. The Ritz Paris runs 600 staff for fewer than 100 rooms. 6 humans per key. Concierges, valets, sommeliers, a florist, night engineers, someone whose entire job is folding towels into swans. At 5 stars, the org chart looks like a small government, and labor got expensive everywhere. Hotels now pay 22% more than in 2019 for 7% fewer hours worked. Add what the guest never sees. Industrial laundry, engineers on call, insurance, property tax, and air conditioning for a building that never sleeps. And the building itself drinks money. Heating the pool, cooling the lobby, lighting a chandelier the size of a small car, all night, for nobody, because a dark luxury hotel looks like a dead one. Total it up, and a well-run hotel keeps about 35 cents of operating profit per revenue dollar. After the ownership bills, insurance, property taxes, reserves, you're closer to 23. 23 cents on the dollar. Sounds survivable until you remember we still haven't paid the bank, or the brand, or replaced a single sofa, plus a quiet killer. About 4% of everything goes into a mandatory piggy bank for new furniture. Luxury guests notice a tired sofa, so the palace eats a third of its own money just by existing. Still profitable until the middlemen show up. Step 4. Pay the middlemen. Where did your guests come from? If the answer is an app, that click has a price. Booking platforms take 15 to 25% of the reservation. Every reservation, every stay. Could you just refuse the platforms? Absolutely. Plenty of proud owners have. Enjoy your beautiful, empty lobby because that's where the customers actually live now. On 3 apps you don't control. On an $800 night, up to $200 can leave before your guest even reaches the elevator. And even the payment itself has a toll booth. The card machine quietly keeps its own slice of every single dollar that passes through the hotel. Then there's the name over the door. Here's the twist. You probably don't own it. You rent it. In the business, it's called a flag. A full franchise package. The name, the loyalty program, the reservation engine runs a median of nearly 12% of room revenue. Oh, and those free loyalty nights guests brag about? Somebody funds every single one of them. Spoiler, it's not the brand. The owner pays into the program that gives the rooms away, or the brand manages the whole hotel for you. A base fee off revenue, an incentive fee off profit, and you still pay every light bulb. This model has a name, Asset Light. The brand is light. Guess who's heavy? Marriott signed a record 114 luxury hotel deals last year, 15,000 keys, and it owns almost none of the buildings. It's a perfectly fair trade. right up until you do the math on who signed the mortgage, who funds the renovations, and whose name is on a lawsuit when the pool leaks. Hint, it's not the brands. The fees are guaranteed. Your profit is not. Welcome to hospitality. So why sign it all? Because an unflagged palace fights for every booking alone. No points members, no corporate contracts. The flag fills beds. It just bills you for it. Step 5. Don't die. Here's the strange part. Hotels almost never die of empty rooms. They die of debt. The loan from Step 1 never left the building. Right now, more than 7% of America's hotel-backed debt is behind on payments. How'd it get this bad? Cheap loans built these towers in the 2010s. Then rates doubled, and every refinancing turned into a hostage negotiation, with your hotel as the hostage. And among the big full-service hotels, roughly 40% of loans are flagged as troubled or already on a watch list. Nearly 1 in $6 of debt on Hilton-branded hotels is delinquent as we speak. Even healthy owners get squeezed. The flag can order a renovation, a property improvement plan. Refuse, and you lose the name overnight. Because luxury ages in dog years. What looks stunning in 2019 looks tired today, and tired at $800 a night is fatal. And that's the death spiral. Tired rooms force lower rates. Lower rates mean less cash. Less cash means no renovation, which makes the rooms more tired. Around and around, all the way down to the foreclosure auction. Now the masterclass. In 2014, a Chinese insurance giant bought the Waldorf Astoria in New York for $1.95 billion. The most expensive hotel ever sold. 3 years later, they closed it for renovation. It stayed dark for 8 years. The construction bill alone hit $2 billion. With the purchase and the overruns, the whole project swelled toward $6 billion. Where does $6 billion even go? 5,400 new windows. Custom elevator systems. Restoring 1930s artwork by hand. Perfection, it turns out, has a day rate, and it charged for 8 years. Halfway through, the owner collapsed and was seized by regulators. The hotel outlived its buyer. $6 billion for 375 hotel rooms and 375 condos they now have to sell. It reopened last July under new owners, and last month it went up for sale. Again, and here's the quiet punchline. Somebody to get rich off the Waldorf. The contractors, the lawyers, and the brand, which collected its management fees through all 8 dark years on a hotel with 0 guests. That's the lesson of Step 5. In this business, you could do everything luxuriously right and still hand the keys to the bank. So why does anyone still want this? Step 6. Decide if it was worth it. Because the rich keep buying. Trophy hotel deals above 100 million rose about 20% last year. And look at who's writing the checks. Sovereign wealth funds, family offices, billionaires who already own everything else. People who don't need the yield, they want the lobby. Because luxury is the only hotel segment where prices outrun inflation. The Holiday Inn will never have that. And because underneath the hotel sits the one thing nobody is making more of, irreplaceable real estate that happens to serve breakfast, which reveals the actual game. You don't have to out-earn the machine year to year. You have to outlast it. Hold the address long enough. And someone richer, somewhere, will always want your lobby more than you do. And honestly, you're buying the story. Your name, over that door. Same hotel, 2 years. In a good year, the ballroom is booked out, the rate climbs, the asset appreciates, everyone toasts you. In the bad year, one refinancing, one renovation order, one slow season, and the same marble lobby is a courtroom exhibit. So here's the honest math. 5 businesses in a trench coat, a third eaten by the machine, a 10th to the middlemen, the bank forever at the door, and an asset your grandchildren will still be arguing over. If a number in this video surprised you, the like button is free, unlike everything else in this business. Subscribe. The series continues. So, still want the hotel, The lobby's gorgeous. $800 a night. The bank will see you now.